Good call.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome.
Au
Happy
revoir.
Saturday.
Yes. Today's Saturday, April 3rd. Welcome.
Let's start. Ready? Go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Needles at the Ready. My name is Ray.
My name's Kevin.
And it is Saturday,
April 3rd.
Good.
Today's episode 34.
Yeah.
So welcome
Is it
back.
really? No, I thought it was 35. You sure?
I have no idea, actually.
Okay. What is time?
Well, what
are our numbers?
Oh, I don't know.
You didn't write the episode number down, but that's okay.
No, it should be 34. I
Okay.
wrote 34 down. You could double check for me, though.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I am correct. It is episode 34. So
Sure
welcome
is.
back, everybody.
Welcome to the Poop Show.
Welcome, new viewers. Thank you, everybody, for coming to check out another poop show.
Yeah, we've had quite a few new viewers, so thank you all for checking us out and sticking around if this is the second time you're watching. Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
And if this is the 34th time that you've watched, thank you so much.
You're amazing.
You totally are.
So...
Big love. How do you do that heart thing? Is that right? Isn't that what people do?
I guess.
I do.
Isn't that what Britney Spears did? And Oops, I Did It Again?
Oh, she probably did, but I can't.
No, don't stop.
I'm not going to
please.
try.
Don't. Oh, George.
What were you going to say, Geronimo?
I have no idea.
All right, so let's get started.
Yeah, so...
This is... Did we say what we do?
No, so... I literally have no idea how we get this wrong every single
know.
time. Like, I don't get it. All right, so Needles at the Ready.
Yep.
We are a knitting YouTube channel. Well, knitting, crocheting, dyeing.
Fiber-related.
Fiber-related YouTube channel, so that's us. We're coming to you from Stratford, Connecticut, where we live with our dog, Tarquin,
Here we go. Now I feel like we're in a flow.
who's getting his haircut today.
Yes, he is. At noon.
At
we
noon.
started this at 10:08.
So we'll see.
Currently it's 10:08. So hopefully...
We'll be done in time because,
Yeah.
like, we like to chat and these things can last for quite a while. So, yeah, that's us. We, how's our 2 weeks been?
Well, we had a huge fun event last Saturday.
We did.
We did the guys knit night via Zoom with some amazing people. It was so much fun. We had about 40.
We had just over 40 people
Yep.
in the group. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah. We thought we would have to do like a breakout room or something, but I think it worked out really well. It was really nice to be able to like provide, I think, an outlet for people to socialize.
Well,
You know, like have a chance to just like chat and get together.
yeah, well,
It was really fun for us.
what I thought was great about it, and it's, it's what some of the feedback we got during it is that, number one, we had a lot of new knitters, people who've, or guys who've only been knitting for maybe like a year, maybe a little bit more, some even less.
Right.
But what was great about it, and I'm sorry, I'm rolling up my sleeves because
I know. I was wondering like why you're
what?
getting like dressed right now.
I just don't like. I like to roll up my
Me too.
sleeves
I
so
have
my
my
butt
sleeves rolled
downs.
up. They're not like really nice and even, but
But the feedback that we got was that, number one, obviously we're in a pandemic. You don't really get to knit with people.
Yeah.
Prior to this, a lot of the guys didn't have knitters in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, if they did, they just didn't have any male knitters. And not saying that our conversations would be different if we had, any females in the group, but being able to connect with people who knit similar products or have a similar like mindset in what they're looking to knit. I think that's where the connection came in, like talking about that stuff. So it was really, really good. It was went way better than I had expected.
Yeah,
to
me
be
too.
honest, like I was super nervous going into it because I didn't know what to expect. And we had a bunch of the guys who knit with us on Thursday nights for the group that we were invited to. So that just was really nice because it really settled me down.
yeah, it kind of helped break the ice for us. Because you never know how things are going to go. I'm just really glad that we did it, and I think it opens the door to do some other things. Maybe do this on a more regular basis. I think we're going to shoot to do this like a guys knit night on, once a month.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can figure out how we can open it up to more people for like special events or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. 40 I thought was a good number. I'm afraid to do more than that in like the same meeting. So we'll see how we do.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for who came. Thank you for coming
thank you guys.
and spending the night with us. We spent about 3 hours just like chatting and laughing.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good. Did we drink?
Yes, we sure did. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We had coffee and then we switched to drinks.
Oh, good. Yeah. We've got to prep now as you get older. Remember when we used to...
Just drink.
We would go to... Or no, now that we're a little bit older, does anybody else have to prep before they like go to a function or go out?
I need Red Bull.
So do you remember like you took a picture one time? I think we were gonna do a game night with one of our friends, and we had to take some Advil, Tums, and
Red Bull.
Red Bull
To just go out.
Just to hang until about 9 o'clock at night, and it never even lasted that long. But whatever.
It probably did. It probably went much later.
That's our pregame these days.
So that was the men's knit night. What else did we do over the last 2 weeks? Work.
Yep. Work. I took yesterday off.
You did.
I took a PTO day. It was really nice to kind of like just hit the reset button. It was a busy 2 weeks.
Yep, and the weather was getting nicer.
It was.
We had a couple cold days, but last weekend it was really nice. We were able to get out and do some yard work, so that's nice. We'll get some more done this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Mother Nature did a April Fool's joke.
She sure did.
It was like 30 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out with him. It was 28 degrees.
Yeah, yesterday was not fun. Not a fun day.
Just because you think like you're ready, you're in that mindset for for warmer weather.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So I think that's.
Yeah, college basketball. Been watching
tons of basketball.
Tons of basketball.
March Madness.
Yep.
So that's been taking up a lot of the time.
The viewing time.
It sure has. It's my favorite time of year. Ray could care less, but I do.
Well, until yet, I do. My interest pops in every once in a while.
Yeah, I love good games. I love. Unless it's a team that I'm rooting for, I love the underdog. I like seeing their stories. I like when underdogs make it through to later rounds in the tournament, so that's fun.
Right.
I don't know that there's been much of anything else. There's been I've knit a ton. I've knit a ton. I did a little yarn dyeing last weekend, so we have some good stuff to talk about today. So let's start with just the normal stuff. We'll talk about some discount codes that we have for you guys.
Yeah.
So we have 3. Our first one is from Naughty Knitting Sacks,
who just had a shop update yesterday, I believe.
Yes, and anything that we mention is going to be in the show notes below.
Right.
Also, we never mention this, but in the show notes below is our Instagram handles and our Ravelry information.
Right.
So Naughty...
I did not
update your Ravelry like you were supposed to after last episode.
I broke my promise.
Yep. Nope. Failed that life.
But I'm gonna do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I have the intentions.
Yeah. And I'm gonna become a sailor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like sailors.
So Naughty Knitting Sacks, the discount code is PricklePants15.
Yes.
That gets you 15% off your purchase. Next up, we have Trilogy Yarns, which is NATR15.
Yes.
That also gets you 15% off your purchase, excluding her clubs, which, if you are a Discovery of Witches fan, she is starting a new club, a Discovery of Witches club, which I still have to sign up for today.
Oh, I thought you did that already.
No, I have not.
Okay.
And then the last one is Knit Swag.
Yay.
Product placement. And Knit Swag is Kevin and Ray. And that will also get you 15% off your purchase. So check out those 3 shops. Those are 3 amazing makers.
They really are.
We love their products. So go and check them out. Knit Swag and Naughty Knitting Sacks are on Etsy. And Trilogy Yarns is, she has her own website.
Good.
So also going on, we have our spring clean and mal.
We do.
So that...
We have like 100 and something entries already in our FO thread. And 120 or something like that in our chatter thread. Which is fantastic.
I'm just checking stuff off that we've done.
I see that.
So,
you're awful organized.
I am. I'm trying to get better. I was when we first started, using this notebook all the time for to keep my mind focused, and then I stopped, and now I'm back.
Do you think I was a bad influence?
Probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you probably used the notebook for the first 2 episodes, and then
no. Look at all these pages.
When I popped in, maybe things were different.
No, episode 14, episode 11. I have notes.
Okay.
So we have our spring cleaning mal. This is the idea behind it is just to get some whips finished during spring. So it started March 1st and it's running to May 31st.
Yes.
March, April, May. Yeah.
We have plenty of time.
Yeah, we have a ton of time to finish these projects.
It's awesome to see some of the things. Some people are finishing sweaters. They've entered.
And Lisa just finished her Harry Potter scarf. That thing's amazing.
Love that.
But yeah, so check it out. We have a Ravelry chatter thread, FO thread, and we have a hashtag for
We do
Instagram.
have a hashtag.
And we're going to be pulling prizes from all three. So the hashtag is NATR Spring Mal 2021.
And that'll be in our show notes below as well.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the admin stuff. So why don't we start talking about some
Let's
FOs?
do it.
How many FOs do you have?
1. How many do you have?
5.
Winner, chicken dinner. Why don't you get started?
I will as soon as I pull up the project.
Okay.
Well, the pattern. Hold on.
Would you like me to get started? I only have the 1.
If you, I mean, feel free.
And then I'll just sit back and drink my coffee, which I'm drinking my coffee. I've had this mug forever. RN's Rock. This was when I was a baby nurse. My mom got this for me for Christmas, I think, or maybe for nursing graduation, like 8 years ago.
Yes.
And I don't know where she got it from, but I love it. I've had a lot of coffee already today, so I wanted a smaller mug, and this is perfect.
I have not. I got up actually quite late today.
You
for
did
me.
get up quite late. Well, we were up till like midnight last night.
We were, and then I've had awful time sleeping the past couple weeks.
Yeah, a lot on your mind? You want to talk about it?
No, thanks though.
Okay. I'm here for you.
Okay, great. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I actually have to find this pattern because...
Okay, so much for being prepared. So I'll go, and then I can take this off. So this is Kevin's pattern, which will be written up. I promise. I wrote everything down that I did because Kevin couldn't remember some of the stuff. So good thing it's written down now. I just have to type it out and make it look like a pattern. I have no idea how to do that, but I'll try it, and then I'll get it out to like some testers to see how people feel about it. But this is it's a slip stitch cowl, with a nice rolled edging, and some ribbing. It's a really easy pattern. It's an 8-row repeat, and I used Brooklyn tweed. So much for being prepared. Oh no, look how prepared I am. Brooklyn tweed dapple. So this is dapple. This was the 60% merino and 40% organic cotton. The blue is blueprint, which I love because it's almost like it almost looks like marled or like have some tweedy bits in there. And then this white one, I think, is just called Natural. Yes, Natural. And this is a DK weight. Hopefully you can see that. This is a DK weight. I wrote it all down. Look at me. Look at me. So here's my little notes. I had okay, so this was my main color. I used about 145 yards, and in the contrasting color, I only used about 50 yards. So each one of these skeins is 165 yards. These are 50-gram skeins. So got some, definitely some left over, which is nice. It was very interesting to work with. I'm not sure if I was a huge fan of the actual process of knitting with it, because it did feel like cotton, and cotton for me is a little bit difficult to get into a flow with, because the yarn doesn't like stretch as you're knitting with it, so you constantly have to I feel like you constantly have to struggle keeping your tension correct and getting the stitches to kind of flow. So it felt like cotton. It didn't feel like wool when I knit with it.
No.
It felt like cotton. It feels like wool.
It kind of does. It still has a cottony feel to me. I think this would actually be a really good sweater yarn, though.
So yes, and
it's super light compared to wool.
Yeah, and I agree. When I first bought the yarn, or while I was thinking about buying the yarn, I looked on Ravelry to see what types of projects people did with the yarn, and there was a lot of sweaters. So I definitely think, I don't remember how much this cost. It's not on here.
I think it's just
but
like
I think
their
it's
normal
comparable
yarn.
to some of their regular, their pricing is like their regular yarn. So this was the newest version. We wanted to see how it would knit up
with solids.
With solids. This is, and these two are done with speckles. These are previous versions. This was the original one.
Yeah, that's all in yarn ink.
Yeah. And then this one is the one that I did previous, which I really like this one. It almost looks 3D, kind of. Like it's very like contrasty. Like on the camera, look at it. Hopefully it's showing up.
It is, yeah. I can't.
So we did 3 versions, and now we'll send it out to see about getting them tested.
Yeah.
I like them, especially for, for people who don't want a giant, wrappy cowl. It's pretty, it's close to the neck, but you still have some room.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's easy to wear under a jacket. So I was really happy with it. It was a good process. I think if we were to recommend, like maybe in the pattern we recommend a type of yarn, I would recommend like a merino or like a regular yarn.
Yeah, a DK merino.
Not with the cotton.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because I think it feels really squishy.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. Pattern is written on a bunch of different Post-its and cards, but it's all there.
It is.
It is. And that's it. That's my FO.
All right, so I knit, and I'm wearing my Paris Tajor by Isabel Kramer.
It came out so nice, Kev.
Here's the pattern. This is not a free pattern on Ravelry. It is €4.
Oh, that's a good price.
I don't know what that is in US though. So this is, I knit mine out of DK. The pattern calls for either DK or fingering, so it gives you a pattern for both.
Oh.
This is knit with some DK that I dyed up. This is what I have left out of 4 skeins. So really nice like gray blue.
Yeah, it really is a nice blue.
And here is...
Do you want me to hold some of it?
Yeah, so here we go. It's quite large. It's
huge.
Way bigger than I thought it was going to be as I was knitting it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this pattern. It was, so you can see, I'll move it up. Here's kind of
oh my God,
the
it feels
pattern.
so squishy.
So what I enjoyed about this is that it was so easy to remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look at the pattern after the first maybe like, once I got to about here, so you cast on here, and once I got down to about here, I stopped looking at the pattern.
Oh.
And you just kind of, it was so easy. And then I found like this stitch combo. So this is actually a good question for you guys. There is a stitch combo in here that is
so nice.
What was it? It was a yarn over into a knit through the front and back loop. And the combo of that, like, just was really enjoyable. I don't know. It was not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not meditative, but it was just like a great flow. So I was wondering if anybody else has like a stitch combo when you're knitting that you just really love the flow of it. I loved the yarn over knit front and back, just the way that the yarn was moving and the needles were moving and how I had to like move my hands. It was just super, maybe relaxing.
That's great. So that'll be the question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stitch combination?
Combo.
Or your favorite stitches to do?
Just that you like to do the motion of doing them.
Yeah.
That's really, really nice. It was the motion of doing it that was pleasant.
Mine is actually crochet. I like a double crochet or a treble crochet for those folks in the UK. I just like the motion of it.
Yeah,
I think there's something like nice when you can get into a fluid motion.
Yeah, I don't know. I really love a yarn over for some reason too.
Kev, this is beautiful.
I love this thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It
wears so well too.
So I used almost 3.5 skeins of DK.
Okay.
For that, so it does use quite a bit of DK. So it's a nice.
It could be a yardage on your skeins.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it could be a nice to scrappy one because it's knit in. I'll say 1, 2, 3, maybe 5. Let's say 6 sections.
Okay.
So if you have 6 different colors or maybe 3 colors that you want to use, you can alternate and maybe make it a little scrappy.
Right on.
So that could be cool.
I just love this. I think the colors are perfect.
I love the color.
I can give it back to you.
I'm not going to wear it because it is quite warm in here.
It is warm in here.
Somebody likes to throw the thermostat up to 70 degrees when he's in the shower.
Yes, because when you get out of the shower and it's 30 degrees outside, the house needs to be toasty. That's the worst feeling, getting out of a nice toasty shower into a cold tundra environment. Oof.
All right, so next up for FOs is
Dun, 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 dun.
a hatch hat.
And this is a new cast on too, so you guys I don't think saw this.
I cast this on a couple days ago. This is by Emily Green. It's a Brooklyn tweed pattern. I did use Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, which the pattern calls for, in the colorway Butte.
What else did you use that color in?
I used it in your shawl that I knit with Stephen West.
Not Mediterranean.
No, it's Stripe. No, not Metropolitan.
I don't remember.
Groove. Your Groove.
No,
it's not Groove. You knit Groove.
No, I didn't knit Groove.
I knit Groove for myself twice.
Huh. If we had Ravelry pages, we probably would know.
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget though. So this is the hatch hat, Emily Green for Brooklyn Tweed. It is an $8 pattern. It comes in 2 versions. You have a beanie.
Dark version
down here.
Of Ravelry is...
Or you have the watch cap.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with the watch cap. It's one of my favorite hat knits. It's just a bunch of variations of ribbing. Yeah. And you can kind of see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of ribbon here. So you can fold up the brim.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. I wore mine yesterday.
Yeah, and so this would be super warm on the ears.
Yes.
Because of the double brim type of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just such a fun, relaxing knit.
Yeah. And with that yarn, it feels light and airy, but it's very warm.
Yeah, it's super stretchy, so it's one size fits all. What I would like to do is I would like to knit this in 2 colors and then do my knits in 1 color and my pearls in another. So I'm going to give that a shot when I
don't see
find
the light on in the microphone.
Oh, no. Oh, is it plugged in? It's plugged in, but no, it's not on.
Oh, no.
We don't know if we have sound, guys.
What do we do?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not...
We have no idea if this is working. All right, well, we're going to keep going.
I'm going to say that it's not working.
Well, what we're going to hope is that if it's not working, our phone is...
Picking up the volume.
And then if the phone doesn't, then we're just going to have to record tomorrow. So we'll see. So either you guys will see this on a recording from Saturday, or you will see a recording from Sunday.
Okay.
So yes. So again, this is Hatch Hat. It uses 2 skeins. Well, a skein and a half of Brooklyn Tweed. Yeah. You need about 75 grams. And their skeins are 50 grams each.
Okay.
So that is this hat. And then... So that was 1, 2. Oh, and then the last few are all the same item. This was a new dishcloth pattern that I tried. It is called Delightful Dishcloths by Charlotte. I'm going to go with Marjorie Banks. It looks like Major Eye Banks, but I think it's I'm going to say Marjorie Banks. This is a nice little pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. So Delightful Dishcloths. In essence, it's just a big miter square.
Yeah.
So I got some dishy, and I have no idea what the color is. I think it's called like spring something. But here they are, all 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. And I like this one with the way that the yarn kind of stripes as you get more decreases.
Totally.
So like here I have a lot of the dark colors and then here lighter, but then it just kind of stripes as you get down to the end of it. I knit these in a day. I don't know what the difference in knitting these were compared to the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth.
Right.
But these just flew off the needles. I mean, it's a free pattern, right? Yeah. So you cast on 70 stitches and you do a miter square. So super, super quick. And what I really enjoy about this too, and I think I said this on the podcast before, with the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth, the thing that I don't, for some reason I don't like, is that I don't know what side's the right side because the way that it started. So this one, because you cast on 70 stitches, I know what side's the correct side. I know what's the front and back, so it makes it a little bit easier. Even when I go to weave in my ends, it makes it easier. And that was another thing I actually really enjoyed about this, was weaving in the ends. When I was weaving in the ends, you have more space at the beginning to weave in your ends. When you're doing the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth, you have very small corners. So here I just had this whole, this is my cast on edge. So I had this whole section to weave in if I wanted to. And on this end, I did it, but you have a little more space, so it makes it a little bit easier. And I think they're a really good size too. Yeah. They're very comparable to it.
Give it a little stretch.
Yeah. So I got 3 out of 1 skein of Dishy.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I didn't have much yarn left over. I think they each took about 32, 33
grams.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Something like that. So those are...
What was that?
The picture. Those are my FOs.
Nice. I'm going to test the microphone. I'm going to pull it out and put it back in.
Oh, gosh.
It wasn't plugged in. Oh, no. Microphone plugged in.
I thought it was. So what do you want to do now?
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe now it sounds a lot better. Maybe before it was just the...
Maybe before it didn't pick anything up.
Yeah. We don't edit, so...
So it is what it is.
Yeah. 26 minutes in, it might have been a silent show. Silent showing.
So that's it for FOs.
Okay. I have a hoe.
Let's see your hoe.
I'm yelling now. So, I knit this bad boy. I love how this knits up. I love flashing and pooling. I think it's really interesting. This here is Trilogy Yarns. It comes from her Happy Hour Club. This was last month's Mint Chocochata Martini.
It's a beautiful color.
It's so gorgeous. This is on her plush base, which is her MCN. So it's 80-10-10. 80 superwash merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. And this sock, I really wanted to kind of pay attention to what I was doing with rows versus measurements, because the last sock that I did, the sock that you did was off. Obviously your sock leg was different. And then mine, I didn't want to keep having to pull out the second sock or the tape measure. So I wanted to kind of see, and I've never counted my rows before of what I did on a sock. So with this sock, and this is my vanilla sock, which I might throw this on Ravelry just to kind of put it out what I actually do for this one, because I really like how this turned out. So I did a 2x2 rib for 15 rows. Mm-hmm. I did a row of pearls here because I really like how that pops out. You can't really see it on the angle, but the cuff, I like how the cuff pops out. And for some reason on my other pair, they stay up a little bit better on my leg.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I found that very interesting as well. So I did the one row. I feel like I can do another 2 rows
of pearls
of garter stitch here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe just to give it a little bit more of a grip if I need to. But anyway, 15 rows, garter row, and then I did. I started trying to keep track of my rows. So every 10 rows, I put a stitch marker. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did 70 rows. This one you can't really... Oh, there it goes. So I did 70 rows, and then I started my heel flap and gusset. I wanted to try a heel flap and gusset on this one because I've been wearing these socks a lot, and I didn't realize. I think I'm wearing them more this winter than I ever have been. And some of the heels and the back of my sock get a little bit, not frayed, but worn, a little bit worn.
Yeah.
Because as I'm running around all day on my feet, so I wanted something a little bit more sturdy and substantial, so that's why I tried a heel flap. So this will be my like vanilla pattern for heel flap and gusset. So 70 rows, start the heel, and then I did a total of 150 rows before I started my toe. I tried to measure yesterday from the tip of the heel to where I thought I needed to have my toe for my foot, and I was 10 rows. It was too long. It was going to be way too long on my foot. So for some reason that measurement didn't work for me. So I ended up having to like take out a good amount of the sock in order to bring the toe back up for a good fit. But this is a perfect fit for me. So it was definitely worth the struggles, because last night was a struggles when I was trying to do the toe. It was. Oh my gosh. I knit these on, I'm glad that the microphone works, because I knit these guys on 9-inch circular needles. Yes, I did. And I did on the heel flap, I switched from the 9-inch circulars to DPNs. I was able to do that one. And then and only for the heel flap and the heel turn. And then I moved it back to 9-inch circulars. Okay. To do all my gusset decreases and stuff, which worked out so well for me. I don't know why I've never done that before. I used to do everything on either DPNs or magic loop. And then for the toe, I did magic loop. I did your standard rounded toe, where you decrease every other round. I decreased every other round until I got to row 20. After row 20, I decreased every round until I got to 12 stitches left, and then I did my Kitchener. With the Kitchener, I found a really cool trick, which I thought was really interesting, because you know when you Kitchener the toe, sometimes you get like little ears, up. So this one doesn't have them. It's nice and rounded here. Mm-hmm. And what I did was, I didn't do any setup for the Kitchener.
Yeah, I never do.
No, I didn't do any setup. I always get that one last like puff. So when I got to the and I don't remember who, I'll try to see if I can find the video below, because I watched it last night. When you get to the last 2 stitches, as you're Kitchenering, so you just, you knit off and you purl on, and you're left with those 2 stitches, one on each needle. You actually take them both off the needle, so you have the 2 stitches just still hanging out with nothing that they're attached to. Yeah. Pull the yarn really tight, and then you just bring the last stitch out and like down into your sock. And it creates a really nice. I think it's a really nice toe.
Yeah, I mean, what I do too when I Kitchener is when I do that.
Yeah.
And I pull both of and you leave your 2 stitches off. And you pull them off the needle. I just pull my yarn straight through there, and it rounds it off.
This way,
through the sock.
Yeah, she showed. Gosh, I really wish I remember who she was, but she like took her time and showed how the stitches twist and touch each other and move so that it looks like a knit stitch. I thought it was really helpful for me. Like in my head, it was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why it happens the way that it does. Anyway, I love how this knit up. I love the pooling and the cool little like diagonal lines you get and the flashing.
Yeah, it's a very nice colorway.
It's very, very nice colorway.
Yeah, I love the green. The different shades of green and like
there's some browns in there. Yeah. So, great job, nice Nancy. Job. I have 53 grams left. The sock took 47 grams. So I'll have 3 grams left over if I do the sock the exact same, which is incredible that I can get 2 pairs of full-length socks, because I think it's ended up being something like a 7-inch leg, maybe a little bit more. And her plush base is very generous. It's 450 yards per 100 grams. So I don't think I would have been able to get 2 socks out of, like a 80-20 or 75-80. 20 because there's like less yardage there.
Yeah, it depends. It also depends on who they use.
True.
Where do they get their yarns from?
And that's living in my
Leigh
Garçon bag, which I love. And that's it. That's my hoe.
That's your hoe and your FO.
Yep, and I have to start. I'm going to start the second sock.
Do you have any whips?
I do. You do have quite a few whips.
Yeah,
actually.
I have 2 whips. How many whips do you have?
1, 2.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I had quite a few.
All right, so
Mayhaps
my
not.
first whip is one that you guys have not seen in quite some time. It's one that I've been working on for about 5 years, if not longer. This is the Red Shift by Jared Flood. It's from his Woolens book.
I love that. It's so pretty.
It is a nice triangular shawl.
Yeah.
I knit it for quite a while, and then I stopped because it does require you to steek, and I have never steeked before. And yeah, so that was that. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to take part in our spring cleaning mal that I would try to
our
get
own
this,
mal.
Right, I would try to get this off my needles and complete it. So I got it, and then I found that I couldn't find one of the colors of yarn, so I had to purchase more yarn to finish it. But here it is so far. I cut my steek, which is all along...
Oh, I have a picture of that. You cutting your steek, actually.
This edge. You can also see that when I was knitting this, I was still fairly new knitter. I didn't pay attention to my color dominance. You can see here the grayish color is dominant. Here the red is. Here the gray is. So it's not like...
It's not noticeable.
It's not super noticeable, but it is... If you're a knitter, you would notice it.
Okay.
So now all I have to do is pick up my border and do the border for this. So it should move fairly quickly.
So incredible. Here's Kevin cutting the steek.
That must have been... That was the Sunday after podcast day.
Yep.
Here's my floats on the back. I love the floats. I think my floats look really nice.
Oh, they look really nice.
Right? And even here you could see like the red.
Yeah.
From the opposite side is the dominant. So it's just a matter of what yarn you hold in front and the back that determines which one's dominant.
Oh, it's really pretty. Show it up close.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You did a really good job. Yeah, totally.
This I'm knitting... Did I not bring any of the... Oh, actually, here. This is knit out of Loft in Cinnabar and... Cinnabar and Wood Smoke. So I have actually 2 skeins of Cinnabar left from when I bought the yarn for this. And then I couldn't find the
It's a
Wood
really
Smoke,
pretty color.
which is this tanny gray color. So I bought more Wood Smoke, which we'll show a little bit later. But yeah. So this is something that I plan on working on. I think I cut my steek wrong, though. You know what held me back from this? And I'm just an idiot. I couldn't figure out where to cut the steek, and I literally opened up the pattern, and I read it, and it told me exactly where to cut the steek. I'm like, there I go.
Read your patterns.
Not reading my pattern. So, yeah, that's one whip.
That's
Hopefully
beautiful.
by next time it will be an FO. It has a provisional cast on here.
Oh, so that's where you pick up your stitches?
Yeah, and it's knit on... What's the needle sizes? I totally forget because it wasn't even on needles anymore. It was in the... you knit it in the round, and that's why you create the steek. So it's on a US 6.
Okay.
A US 6 and a US 5. So I believe this whole section, the color workers knit on a US 6, and once I get to the border and the ribbing for it, or the garter, that's going to be on a US 5.
Okay.
So you start, if I remember correctly, it started like this. Right? So this is how it looked prior to me steeking it. It was like a big old tube.
Yeah, it was a tube. It would have been probably a cool cowl.
No. It couldn't have been because the steek went this way. Like it twisted on itself.
Oh.
So it went from tip, like this was a tube.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? So it curled in on itself.
You're right.
It was like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you knit it in the round. You have a steek.
A really cool, long, pointy
hat.
Bed hat.
You look like a 7 dwarf.
That's okay. I like the 7 dwarfs.
But yeah, I think this is a good introduction to color work because it's, from what I remember, the color work was super easy. The yarn's nice and grippy, so it doesn't fall off your needles either.
And it looks like you don't carry the floats too long.
No,
where it's going to be a problem with your tension or whatever.
I would say the most, if I look at this, is probably 4, maybe 5 stitches is the longest that you carry your floats.
And I'm sorry, you probably said it. What weight yarn is that?
This is Loft, and Loft is a...
DK?
Fingering.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Loft is fingering. Because
That does not look like...
It goes Query, Shelter, Arbor...
Oh, right.
Loft.
I thought maybe Loft was a...
Perry.
Okay.
And like Dapple's now in there, and there's one other one, I think.
Interesting.
So yes, this is my...
Looks a little bit thicker.
Red
Maybe
shift.
it's sport weight.
No, it's fingering weight.
Okay. Good job. Oh, and speaking of needles, I forgot to say on my sock, I use a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is a US...
One, I
no
believe.
idea. And I do 72 stitches. That's comfortable for me. And I wear a size 12 shoe.
And then, all right, so why don't you go on one of your whips now?
Okay. This is... I'm trucking along. I feel like I'm trucking along very slowly on this, but that's okay because I'm enjoying the process.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah, this is the Honeycombs, Painting Honeycombs shawl. You'll probably be seeing this for a good long time on the podcast, I think. This is by Stephen West. This is the small Honeycombs version. I can't see what I'm showing.
Yeah, you can see the picture.
Okay. And there's also a large version that also is included in this pattern. It's not a free pattern, but I believe it was somewhere around $8 or so for both of the patterns, which is really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to do something for all of you people who haven't seen this yet. I wanted to do something with our Trilogy Yarn Advent, the Halloween Advent, Hocus Pocus.
I got really confused. You said I wanted to do something for all you people. I was like, oh, are you knitting this for all of them?
No, maybe I just didn't. Maybe I spoke without completing a thought. Maybe I combined two thoughts in one.
Or maybe I just misheard.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Can I carry on?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait. Okay. So this is what I have so far. It looks so crazy on, like... Can you just hold the end there? So this is what we have so far. I think it looks so cool, to be honest. This is using 14 different colors, 13 of which are the minis, and the 14th is the like that main color here, which I'll show you in just a sec. So I was here last time we showed this somewhere.
Yeah, you're there.
So I don't know how many I did, but I finished off all the minis. So I have 2 complete repeats with all the minis in there. And the thing that I love about this is that each mini is so, and I've said this before, is like speckled differently. So by the time you get to a different section, it doesn't look like anything's really repeating on here, right? Maybe these two.
No, even these two. Like right here. If those are the same one, they like these two to me look pretty similar, those two colors.
Yeah, but they might be different.
But throughout the row, yeah, they changed quite a bit.
Here's the back. I love the back. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So I just thought it was an interesting way, again, to use up minis. And this is the main color here.
Oh, I was going to say, are you going to have enough? But you have a second skein.
I do have a second skein. I bought a second skein just because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see, if people are interested in doing something like this with their minis, I'd like to see if there's enough of that, like how much one skein will get. Because usually with an Advent, you know, you don't necessarily always get.
Right, right. You're not going to get 2 skeins of an Advent. So you had purchased an extra skein.
Yeah, so just for backup. Mm-hmm. In case I wanted it a little bit larger. So we'll see how much this will get me through.
But you know what's cool too is that sometimes Advents don't always come with a full skein. If they are just minis and you have to buy 2
different skeins.
Another yarn, then that's another way to continue to use the minis.
Right. Like I like how chaotic this looks, and this reminds me of like Halloween. It definitely does. But if you were to use a solid color, I think that would make
your
such a difference.
Right, your honeycombs would pop more.
Yeah. I think they're gonna really pop once I block it and stretch it out to shape. It's gonna just be I think it's gonna be so cool. And I'm not gonna go through each mini, but this is the bag of minis. What I've been doing is just reaching in at random and popping one out. I didn't keep the tags or the numbers to know what color is which. But there's one in here that has sparkle on it, so I love that one very much. But it's just really cool. You can see like the variegation in them, so that each little section that I get to might be a little bit different. So I'm just chugging away at those. It's a very simple pattern. The rows are starting to get a little bit longer. And there's a lot of purling in this as well, which I don't mind.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton in that.
Mm-hmm. But I love it. I really do love it. I think it's really, really cool. And I'm doing the Weave and Steven method, so I can just snip these off when I'm ready.
So I would say you're what, about halfway done? Because I thought it was like 50-something honeycombs.
I think he wants about 50 some odd rows.
So if you've done each of the minis twice, then you've 26. Done 26. So yeah, you're about if it's 52,
he wants 55.
Okay. So you're not far from halfway.
So done. I might do 3 more sections.
Like a total of 58 rows? Or 3 repeats of all the minis?
3 repeats.
So 3 additional.
So it's going to be huge.
I see. Yeah. If you have enough yarn.
If I have enough yarn. We'll see. And I can stop whenever I want to stop.
Right.
Which is really cool.
What are you going to do, just out of curiosity? Let's say you run out of one of your minis for, like, before you hit the 55 honeycombs.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm just going to wing it.
Okay.
See what happens.
Interesting.
Thanks. But it's really fun. I love it. It's living in my amazing chip basket. I showed these last time. This holds so much.
It really does.
I have a sweater coming up. And so I want to kind of finish this so I can have the sweater live in here. But we'll see.
I know. I have my chip basket here, too. I have all my projects in there.
Unless you want to send a second basket chip, then I'll be happy to have 2.
All right. So I have one more whip.
Same.
This is in my bearded pearl bag. It's still my holiday.
I can't believe we missed their update. They had a beautiful update.
They did some tweed bags.
Oh. And if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Bearded Pearl on YouTube. They talk about why that fabric is so special, and I thought it's a really cool story. So give them a check out. Give them a check out, or check out of their shop. I don't think they have anything left in the shop, but.
So this is my dotted rays that I started, I think, before even the holidays. I feel like I started this a long time ago. I think you started
this a while ago.
And then with everything that was, like, all the other projects that just kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
You know what?
This looks different in the daytime.
It took a back seat to Slipstravaganza.
You're right.
I think I started it before.
Wasn't that the summertime?
That was September, October. So I haven't touched this in quite a while.
I'm gonna do his next one.
This is Dotted Rays.
Yeah.
So this is a Stephen West pattern. It is €6. It's in a couple of his ebooks, and so this would be $7.36 US funds actually. This is Dotted Rays. I've made one before. I love the pattern.
Yeah.
My mom requested one when I showed it to her, so that would have been like summertime, because remember we were outside. It's like summer, fall. Yeah. We were sitting on the deck with her.
Yeah.
And so she asked for one in black and white, and then a friend had sent me this hedgehog fibers in Magpie. And it is this yarn.
It's gorgeous. How is it to work with?
It's very nice. It's actually, I feel like it's a thinner fingering weight.
It looks a little bit thinner.
It is 90-10. So 90% merino, 10% nylon.
And that's interesting.
Oh, you know what's interesting on this one too? It says dry away from direct sunlight. Because it would help maybe make the colors fade.
Maybe.
So I do feel like it's a little bit thinner than some other fingering weight yarns. It actually reminds me of...
It looks like a 2-ply.
stroll fingering, the solids, I also feel like that is, even though it's a 75-25, the stroll fingering I find to be a very light fingering weight yarn. It's not as plump as some other ones. So this kind of has that same feel to me. So this is where I am as of right now.
I love it.
I just picked this up yesterday again. I was here yesterday, so I've knit a good, maybe like 2 to 3 inches on it.
Yeah. It's so fun how...
two of the 2 more sections where my yarn overs are, my little eyelets. I like the way that the black is kind of pulling along the edge, right? So you have your edge here, and it's kind of pulling, and then here too. I just really like... I wasn't sure at first.
I like it.
There were a couple times where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Yeah. But I do like the way it's currently knitting up.
Me too.
It's a fast... To me, this is a fast knit. It's pretty easy to remember the pattern. We'll say that in between the eyelets, right? So this eyelet, these 2 here, is is a section. So you're doing a specific pattern there. When you're doing that, that's when you can memorize that particular section. What I found too is that using stitch markers can help. The pattern doesn't call for it, but I use a stitch marker here to know where I have to do my short row. And I move that every single time. But there's also some yarn overs that you have to do where you can mark it as you're knitting so that you don't have to count when you get to that point. So I think this is a good one where even though the pattern doesn't call for stitch markers, it's good to use them. It makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to grow on... Which way does it grow?
I think it grows like out.
This way. Yeah. So it grows out this way, the way that I'm showing it. So this will be the short end. This side over here will be the longer end. But I've been enjoying it. It's just a nice, easy... It really is. It's a nice, easy pattern. I think it's a good beginner shawl.
So I did some additional knitting that I don't have with me because I frogged it. And that was the dotted rays. And I probably got to about where Kevin was, I think. I had a good amount done.
I don't know. Maybe a little bit less.
Maybe. But not quite. It was definitely taking shape. And then, I made a few boo-boos, and then I tried to fix them, and then I made a few more boo-boos, and then I tried to fix them, and then I made a few more boo-boos, and then I said...
Then he got frustrated.
Bye-bye.
He's like, oh, maybe this just...
It's just not meant to be.
It's just not meant to be. Nope. I'm taking it out.
I'm taking him back. I'm taking him all back. This is my wish. My dream. Where's that from? Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I will be casting one on. I'm determined. But I also want to do... So I'm doing a Stephen West now. I want to do a sweater. I have a beautiful sweater. Cardigan. I'm going to show it next time. I'm going to see if I can do the actual stitch because it's an intermediate pattern. And I'm afraid.
Somebody's doing a cardigan knit along that you were going to wait for.
Oh, I am.
Who?
Knit for Brains? Maybe? No.
Oh,
what?
Happy Knits.
Happy Knits.
That's right.
That's right. Okay,
on a recent episode.
Yeah, but can I swatch? May. Can I swatch yet or no?
You probably can, but May, if I remember, she said May is when they're going to do the cardigan one. Yeah. So you have
That's Happy Knits with Yolanda and Jordan.
Yep.
Yolanda, if you're watching, can I swatch yet or do I have to wait? Because I have the yarn and everything. That's okay. Maybe that'll give me time to finish the Stephen West shawl that I have going on.
I know. I have another one of his shawls that I'd seen him talk about it on YouTube, like one of his YouTube videos about it, and it really hit me yesterday that I want to make it because I can use a lot of leftover yarn for this shawl. Mm-hmm. It'd be massive. It's actually a wrap, but I don't know if I want to because I was so monogamous with my knitting the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I did the dishcloths in a day, then I moved on to the shawl and I finished the shawl. Then I moved on to the hat and I finished the hat. So I really enjoyed the monogamy of knitting the past 2 weeks and making progress and getting things completed. So
maybe I don't know.
I don't know what I want to do. if I want to cast on. I still have the redshift. I have my Beauceron that's on the needles that I need to now pick up since I finished the Montrealer. So I don't know. But
you also have a sweater as well.
My Beauceron.
No.
My Beauceron.
Your other sweater.
My Beauceron.
That is knit flat.
My Beauceron.
That's not.
No, I do have my Slade that I need to reknit one of the panels. I need to take it out and reknit the panel so that my panels match in size. One of them's longer than the other. Mm-hmm. So that was another thing where, sometimes when you feel defeated, you're just like, I don't have the energy or the mental space to knit this, and that's been a year and a half now.
Right.
So, literally,
maybe it's just not meant to be.
All I have to do is piece it together and then do the shawl collar.
Que sera, sera. I have one more. Do you have any more whips?
No, I have no more whips.
Those are all my knit whips. Knit whips?
I just have some yarn dyeing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have my blanket.
My blanket.
That I did put some work into. Not much. And I didn't put a stitch marker in here. But these rows are like super long.
They are.
They really are. So I knit about that much. I don't know. I think I was somewhere maybe down here or so. I don't think I had that much going, but isn't this nice?
It is. It's actually, that's going to be quite heavy once it's done.
I know, and I like a weighted blanket almost.
Speaking of that, did you see some family had a weighted blanket and their dog got stuck under it?
No.
Yeah, so be careful. I mean, nothing happened to the dog.
Oh, thank God.
But
I was like, where is this going?
I thought about getting one. And then I saw that article and I was like, no, Tarquin would
you
totally get stuck. You can't
even sleep under we got a beautiful duvet cover and this what was it called? This quilt, like a legit quilt. Oh, it's beautiful. I loved it. I had the best sleep of my life.
I can't. I sleep very warm, so I have to use...
We sleep with gauze draped over us.
You're such a
That's
jerk.
what it feels like sometimes. So this is Cover Story by Lion Brand. I don't have very much left, and unfortunately we got some bad news from one of our friends who works over at Joann's where I got this, that there was a huge sale on them apparently, and there was only one left, and they don't know if it's coming back. So I might have to make some purchases online, but can you imagine if this is probably going to take about 5 of these skeins to knit the blanket that I want, or crochet the blanket that I want.
That feels like a lot to me.
I know, me too, but I committed to making it large. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll do different, I could probably do different colors.
What I would do is I would keep going with it once you're out of the yarn, right?
Yeah.
See what the length is.
Yeah.
And then you could determine how long you want it to be to determine how many more cakes you need to purchase. But then you have to hope that they're going to have them if they don't discontinue it. Mm-hmm. But what you could probably do is, because they always have that as the Bernat blanket, is probably very similar. You just have to...
sacrilege, though, to mix the brand? I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's the same. So I'm crocheting this with a 9mm crochet hook. I have no idea. I don't know the letters. I learned crochet the European method. Oh, it's an N. And so I think we do letters here in the US, but I don't know my letters. Anyway, and I'm just doing a half double crochet on smaller hook size because I like the denser fabric. So that's what I'm doing. And this kind of spills into an acquisition of mine, but we can wait on that.
Okay.
Okay? That's it. Those are all my works that I'm doing. It's nice to do something crocheted, and I'm going to do some more crochet. More crochet.
Oh, you know what else we did, guys, this week? We just did it yesterday. We reorganized the yarn pantry behind us.
Kind of.
We took out a bunch of the yarn. Then we put a bunch of the yarn. We put it all back.
We put it all back.
We just tried to, pull aside things that we had purchased individually for specific projects or because we loved it. And then things that weren't, we just put them in a combined cube that's like a free-for-all, so anybody could go for it. Which is making sure that we did, our fingering weight together, our DK and worsted weight together.
Yeah.
So we did that yesterday.
Yeah, we put our knit pick stroll and Felici out, which we hadn't done before. We don't have like sweaters quantities of yarn.
No,
they're all pretty much single skeins. We have this. I don't think we. Oh, this bin right here is for sweaters. This is the only sweater yarn we got. The top is from Savvy Skeins. I bought Kevin for his 40th birthday sweaters quantity for the what's it called?
City Limits.
City Limits. And then my sweater yarn is in there that I'm going to do for my next sweater. And then Kevin has the Beauceron color. I think that's your Beauceron sweater stuff in there.
Yep.
And that's all we have sweater quantities. Everything else is pretty much like single
whatever yarn.
Yeah.
No, we have some of them. We have like double, but we don't have a lot of sweaters quantity.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why. But in case people are interested.
So next up is some yarn dyeing that I did last weekend. I did 2 colors. So first up, this is on...
I love these. I really love these, and I love them together.
This is on a 75-25 fingering weight yarn. So this is a tonal yellow.
It's so pretty.
So what I did with this is I used a very bright yellow dye, and I wanted to darken it up. So I threw mixed in some gray with the yellow dye, and they made my stock and dyed the yarn. But I still thought it was too bright, so then I mixed up just a little gray and took the skeins out, threw the gray in the water, and then put the skeins back in. So what you can see is like this section here is a little brighter than maybe that section where some of the gray went. So it almost
It's going to look cool knit up.
Yeah, it's a really nice
It really
yellow.
is.
It's kind of where the gray hit it, it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of split pea soup for some reason. Like, so it almost leans...
Yellow split pea soup?
No, the yellow with the gray in it almost leans like a green. Like it's getting...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See, like, I don't know. So I dyed up 2 of these. And then the next one... Hold on. Let's actually do this so that it's not a mess.
People are watching.
Don't
screw up.
They're going to see.
How are they going to know?
How are they? They're going to know.
They're going to know. How would they know?
All right.
So stupid, TikTok.
All right. So next up was this one is on an 80-20, and I played with some blue, and then it's almost like a peachy color.
This is one of my favorites that you've done. I don't know why it speaks to me so loudly.
And then I think with the blue too. Oh, and then this one I just kind of messed around with the way that I put the yarn in the pan. Mm-hmm. And how I applied the blue. So we have these 3 skeins.
I love them.
One of these, though, I might go back revisit because it has a lot of white in it.
I like the white space. I really, with these colors.
I do too, but I'll see if I can find the skein. One of them has a ton of it, way more than than the other 2. So it's something I want to see about maybe fixing. So we have like this peachy, almost like a Bellini, right? Isn't that the peach drink? A peach Bellini? And then just a lot of the different shades of blue. Some areas it's really vibrant. Other areas it's kind of like toned down. And I don't know if I used any gray. So here's what I'm going to do with my dyeing. Now that I've kind of messed around with it and tried some different things.
Like techniques and stuff.
Right. And just like getting a feel for how the dye works.
Yeah.
And how, what happens when it's applied.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to start working on trying to do repeatable colors. There's one that I can. One of the colors that I've done I can repeat because that I paid a lot of attention to. So I want to see if I could find the one that has a ton of white.
So I think these together, I don't know why. I think
I think that's...
You think it's gross?
I don't know that they go well.
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I don't know that I would pair them together.
No?
No. Probably not me. Somebody, you may.
Thank
Somebody
you.
else may, but that's not something that I would lean towards. Oh, no, now I don't know which one I think this one. It's got to be this one.
I think that's the one you just opened.
I don't know. That's why.
I think it was all in your head.
No, it really wasn't. It's not this one.
Oh, I think it was all in your head. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. One of them just had a lot of white, so I may revisit it.
I think you're your own worst critic.
We are always our own worst critics, right? I don't know. I'll have to see. Maybe it is this one. Like here. Maybe it's right there. Like there's just a ton of white.
I think it goes well with the skein though. It looks like it all.
Because then on this end, this one. This is the one. So there's a lot of the peach color down here. See? And then barely anything there. So I don't know. We'll see. So we had asked you guys in the previous episode if you thought that we should throw these up on Etsy. So we are going to. We're just waiting for a couple more things. And then we'll start throwing some of the yarn up there that you've seen on previous episodes. So a lot of these are either one skein or I don't think I have any. The max is like 4 skeins of a color.
Right. And then like as you learn and if we get repeatable colors, they're just going to be like the one-offs, one of a kind stuff. And then, anything else that we want to kind of pop up there. You guys have asked for a few things. So we'll see. We're not looking to go all crazy, and we probably won't do like regular shop updates or anything like that. But when we have some things, we'll see how it goes. It's a little nerve-wracking and scary, but my computer also just turned on by itself. That's a little scary.
Hi, Fred.
Yeah. Who's there?
All right, so that's the
100-year-old house.
I'm actually going to do some more this weekend, I think.
Cool.
I have to buy some more bear yarn.
You do.
And I have some new dyes coming in, too. So that's something I realize is that I'm a very neutral guy. Yeah. I love my neutral. So I do have a lot of neutrally type of dyes. So I wanted some more color variations. And what I've been trying to do is just play with the depth of shade of the colors. So if I'm using this one dye, can I make that color a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, a little more vibrant? Okay. So that's what's been the fun part, is playing with that aspect of dyeing.
Let's move on to acquisitions.
I have 2.
Yeah, I don't have much either. I'll go.
You go.
I have 2 things, but they're really the same, kind of. So I had mentioned that I was looking for the name of those hooks that I saw on Cheverell stuff. Everybody got back to me, said that they were furls. I wanted to give them a try. I've never spent so much money on crochet hooks before. So I was a little bit nervous, and in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done what I did. So what I did was I bought the 9mm crochet hooks, one in the Odyssey, which is metal, and one in wood, to try them both out, when I should have gotten different sizes, something that I could have probably tried on something other than this massive, difficult to crochet mess. So I really don't have a good understanding of how they would work with regular.
Oh, that thing's ridiculously large.
Oh, but it's gorgeous. So this is the ebony version. I chose ebony. I love this wood. It is very light. Well, it's lighter than the metal one. It's still substantial. This is the Streamline, Furl Streamline. I have to say I like this. I like this one for that yarn. Because the yarn itself is very heavy and bulky. This is a good weight, and I like the finish on this. So it works really well for me for that yarn. I want to try it on another project, which I might get a couple more regular size ones just to try. We don't do drugs, right? What did we say?
That's what Justin said.
That's what Justin said. We don't do drugs, so we can spend our money on some other things. This one, have you feel this?
You could kill somebody with this.
I know.
That's a weapon.
Get
That's
a
not
concussion.
a crochet hook.
So this is the Odyssey. I got the white, and I like it's like a pearly opalescent handle. And this is metal.
That's heavy.
It is
that
very
would
heavy.
be very uncomfortable. That I feel like would give you wrist pain.
So, yes, this is not super comfortable because of the weight itself and the balancing. Like, this is just
I could see that.
So not balanced, and I hold my crochet hook, like I would cut a knife. I don't know how to I can't do like how people do with like a like
where
the
they
pencil.
hold
So I think that might be a little bit more comfortable to hold like that. But for me, and then I don't grip it like this when I crochet. I move it around to like go around the stitches. So sometimes I like the weight of it, I don't know, wiggles around a little bit. It's kind of bizarre. Also and I think all of this is based on my experience with this blanket yarn. So the edge of this, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah. The edge of this is flat, and it kind of digs into the side of my hand, and it's a little bit more uncomfortable. Whereas this one has a more rounded edge.
Yeah.
And that feels more comfortable against the side of my palm. I think depending on your hand size, it will either be a problem or won't be a problem, but I usually hold my crochet hook here. And so you can see that that's where it kind of digs into the side of my hand. So I would like to try smaller hook sizes, maybe in like a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, or a 6, something where I can do like hats with, or a scarf or something, and have a with the wool that's more accessible and easy to work with. So I'll give that a try. Maybe we'll see if I can order some more. But I think the concept is cool, and I've never crocheted with like a specialty.
High-end.
Yeah, I guess. I do like my clovers though. They're
light and
they work really well for me. But
ergonomically,
we shall see what the future brings. That's my only acquisition. I have some more things, but it hasn't come yet.
I made 2 purchases. One is my Lolo Did It Downton Abbey Club. It's
very springy.
This is March 2021. We have Trophy Rose is her main color, so some nice peaches.
Yeah, and pinks.
Pinks, yellows.
It's pretty.
Some speckles in here. Some green. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very Eastery. And then this one is Flower Show.
That's really pretty too.
So this is like some lime greens.
Yeah.
Lime green? Did I say greens?
Yeah, you did. You said lime greens. But lime greens.
Did I say line greens?
I'm not sure. I know you said greens.
Lime greens. So yeah, this is on her 8515 base. Yeah. So it's really, really soft.
They're really pretty together.
So if you can see this cube up here is pretty much all Lolo Did It. For the most part, there's some other, but it's the majority of that is Lolo Did It.
I feel like this is like the club that never ends.
It is.
The song
I think I need to end it.
Never ends. Yes,
so this was based on the annual Downton Village Flower Show.
Some people. Sorry, I'll behave. Carry on.
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
Oh, I remember this episode. So yeah, I think I keep saying it, but I'm at the point where I'm ready to cancel. I have enough. Whatchamacallit, Lolo.
You do.
So next up is I made a purchase from Brooklyn Tweed because I needed the yarn to finish the Redshift. So I didn't need this much, so I don't know why I bought this much. But I bought 2 skeins of the Loft in Wood Smoke.
It's a really pretty color.
It is. I don't know. Obviously, I purchased
different dye
these
lots for sure.
5 years apart from each other, so it's going to be different. Like, it looks like it's probably a little bit lighter, but yeah. I don't know that you're really going to notice because it's not going into the main portion of the shawl. It's going to be just border.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think it's really nobody's going to notice. So this is, again, Loft. So this is our fingering weight. It's 275 yards in a skein. It is hand spun It's a non-superwash rustic-y wool. I actually really liked, and I remember knitting with this. I like this more than Shelter. Shelter, even though Shelter's a woolen spun as well, Shelter's the one that I had trouble with it breaking, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it's just your tension. The only reason that either one of these yarns is going to break is your tension. So if you're a very tight knitter or you pull, especially from the middle, if it's wound really tight into a cake, there's not much strength in it until it's washed.
Right.
Because it's so light and airy. So that's why it tends to break. So this is wood smoke. I'll probably do a hat or something out of the leftover because I have a full skein of the Cinnabar left also.
That'll be really pretty.
I'm going to have probably like a skein and a half of that left over.
Yeah, that'll be really nice, Kev.
And then since I was making a purchase, I decided to try out some of their Ranch 03 line that just came out. So this is a sport weight yarn in saddle. So it's a nice like brownie orange, like a brassy maybe.
It's a 5-ply worsted spun.
Yeah, so this is a single source Colorado merino from Eagle County, Colorado. From the Campbell Hansmeier, I would think ranch.
Oh, that's neat. So
Yes.
I wonder if they showcase different...
They do.
Oh, that's cool.
So when they, I believe
didn't
with
know that.
Ranch 1 and Ranch 2, it's different
ranches.
ranches that they source their wool from. So this
how
was
fun.
sourced from a specific ranch.
In Colorado, yeah.
It's a really, really nice, soft,
It feels
bouncy
really nice.
yarn.
Yeah. And it's round. It's really nice and round. Like, I feel like this would be
I don't know what I'm going to knit with it. With
really
sport,
easy
though.
to knit with.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
It was
Look
the
how
main.
round that yarn is. If you can, I don't know if you guys can see.
It was the main color that I was drawn to when I went to the site.
Yeah.
So I was happy to try it because I tried to buy the Ranch 2 at their like pop-up, their sale.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to try to buy a sweaters quantity and it was stolen from my cart.
Ooh.
So I was happy to give this a try. So that is all I purchased in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, us too.
Us too? Are you
me
talking about
too.
your second personality?
My second personality. We also got a
we forgot.
gigantic. That's okay.
We didn't bring anything.
That's okay. That
was an owl
show
post.
It. So we've gotten an owl post. It is we got a huge box from a viewer who is destashing, and she sent the most amazing yarns from her collection. There's a ton.
Yeah.
So I think over
Super generous.
over the next couple of podcasts, we'll start showing them. There's a lot of things in there, some really cool things that we'd like to share with you guys. There's a lot of cool things that we want to keep ourselves. So I don't want to say who you are because we didn't get permission, but thank you. You know who you are.
Yes.
We could not believe the amount and generosity.
No, I know.
It was just incredible. So over the next couple of podcasts, we'll start showing some stuff, and then we'll start putting some things aside for giveaways.
Yeah.
Just really, really incredible. So thank you so much for that owl post. There was something else that was delivered that's going to be a gift, so I don't want to show that because the person does watch this podcast. So I'll show that in the future as well.
Okay. Thank you for the PSA.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
All right, so that's pretty much the knitting content.
That is the knitting
That
content.
is the knitting content. That's everything. That's all of the knitting and dyeing and purchasing that has happened in the last 2 weeks.
So we'll quickly go over what we're reading and watching and stuff like that. If you're not interested, thank you, love you, bye. If you are,
deuces.
Settle back. It won't be that long because we do have to take the Tarquin for a haircut.
Yeah, and I don't know that
I'm like slouching in this chair, like I'm getting a little bit tired. Being up till midnight was a little bit rough.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I read some.
Mm-hmm.
Did I? No, we like went to sleep at the same time.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Typically, I read.
We read
later
for just
than,
a little bit.
I read later than you, but no, we were kind of on the same thing last night.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what have we been watching?
Basketball.
So tons of basketball.
Oh, and yeah, go ahead.
I have still, when I'm working, I've been trying to watch I watched Teen Wolf. I'm rewatching the Teen Wolf series that aired on MTV. It has, I would say the only characters that maybe people would know is, or actors rather, are Tyler Posey and Dylan O'Brien are two of the main characters.
Yeah.
And they're, I think that they're the most, like, name-wise, the ones that people might recognize. So I finished season 2. I finished the first half of season 3. I'm now on the second half of season 3. And I was saying to Ray, I remember watching this in the introduction to a bunch of new characters at some point in the show, and I just didn't realize it happened in this season and so quickly. So the show itself is 6 seasons. And I just felt like the newer characters, it's like Malia and Kira and the dude who they just introduced in the last episode. I forget his name. But they all come in this season, so I was really surprised. This season's one of my favorite ones. The 3.2, we'll call it. It is for Styles' character. It's one of my favorite storylines for him.
Yeah, so he's a great actor too.
He is. He was
I think he's a great actor. Maze Runner.
Maze Runner series. He's in Monsters in Love right now.
Oh, I don't know that one.
And then he was also in American Assassin.
Yeah, that was a
Michael Keaton.
Great movie.
He was really, really good in that because that kind of was different than the previous roles that he had played.
Right.
I'm really enjoying watching this again and seeing how some of, maybe we'll say, like, Easter eggs from the first season come to fruition in the later seasons.
Yeah.
So that I've been watching, and then I think that basketball. I don't know that I've really been watching anything else. I've been watching like random movies here and there when I work. Like,
we watched
we watched Justice League.
Yeah.
The
4 hour and 2 minute version.
Yeah, the Zack Snyder cut on HBO Max. It is so much better. So much better than the original one.
But I like the original one too.
I do like the original one too, but I think this one is just so much better.
I love that you get some backstory on one of the characters specifically, which I was like, oh, things make so much sense, like how angry he is and all of that. I thought it was really, really well done. And they did cut some scenes, but
thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Like, it worked. I thought it worked very, very well. And it kind of took on a different...
It was a different tone.
Yeah.
In the movie. I think one of the things DC has gotten a lot of crap for with their movies is that their movies are dark compared to Marvel's, who has this lighter, joking side into it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they were going for with their original Justice League. What I thought they did really well with this one is that every one of the main characters had their moment.
Agreed.
And way more of a moment than they did in the original. In the original one, you got your backstory for everybody.
Yes.
But you didn't get a well-rounded story.
Agreed.
For them.
Like what motivated them to be where they are now. Right. And I like that stuff. I like that part of a story.
And they took out unnecessary storylines.
Yeah. I
think that they did. One of my favorite parts of it is in the first version, there was conflict between Ben Affleck's Batman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Yes.
There was this conflict between them. They took that out completely. And I enjoyed that side of it way more than them arguing over this decision.
Yeah.
I liked
the
better.
Teamwork. You know, it really felt like, we talked about this afterwards, it really felt like the Justice League, because they do, like, if you're a fan of the cartoons and, like, the comics or the storyline, like, they do work as a team, and part of the fun of the Justice League is to see, like, which characters you can partner up with, you know, and see their interactions, and I thought they did a good job throughout the whole movie, where they did all work together as a team. They partnered up certain people together, like, on some of the battles and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So great job.
And
Zach.
They introduced at least 3 different characters. Like 3 3 characters.
Yeah.
Or 3. They introduced Green Lanterns.
Yes.
They introduced
Martian Manhunter.
Yep. And they introduced potentially it was just like Easter egg like as the Atom.
The Atom.
Oh, and Supergirl.
What?
Yeah, we would have to go back and watch it. It's it was shown someplace else too. I read this. I didn't pick up on it watching it.
Yeah.
But when they are in the Kryptonian ship,
yeah,
you can see pods.
Yeah.
One of the pods is open.
Oh.
So that is, and I believe there's been discussion that, and it's the one from the original Superman movie. So his movie. And I believe the pod is open in there as well.
Okay.
So what I just don't know is if the pod opened recently and Supergirl's just like coming out, or has Supergirl been there for a really long time?
All right.
So, yeah, so that was like the main thing that we watched together. Basketball and then Justice League.
Yeah.
And again, that was fantastic. So what have you been watching? Or reading, rather?
So I finished I've been reading the Court of Thorns series. I finished A Court of Frost and Starlight, which was the fourth book, technically the fourth book in the series, and we talked about this last time, that it was kind of filler. It did feel like filler. I don't think I learned anything new, really. I think it's set up for the next book. So I wasn't, it kind of dragged on a little bit, in my opinion. I thought I was ready for that being okay to drag on, but it dragged on. So currently, I did move on to the last book, and that is A Court of Silver Flames. And so far, it's incredible. I think that it feels like the start of a new series, because technically the main character is different than the main characters of the other books, though it's the same universe and there's still interaction between all of the characters, but it feels like the focus obviously is on somebody else, which I'm really enjoying the process and some of the interactions that the characters are having. So it's good. I'm about 20% through. It just came out this year.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's what I'm reading. How about you?
I'm still reading, and I said this to you yesterday. I'm really surprised. I'm still reading Six of Crows.
Yeah.
I'd started it the last episode.
Okay.
So this is by Leigh, Bardugo. Here we go. Oh.
Ooh,
No,
I
don't
love
do
that
that.
cover.
Oh, you stupid. I just want the image.
Can't you just Google the image?
There.
Hello,
Quick.
Dr. Google.
Oh, no. It went right to the page.
Okay, that's okay.
All right.
So Six of Crows.
So Six of Crows. This is in the Grishaverse. The first three books were the Shadow of Bone series, which the series is coming to Netflix on April 23rd.
Yeah.
And this takes place in the same universe, but a completely different cast than the original trilogy. These are all like, I would say like thieves and murderers and
Yikes.
this gang of people. But it's funny because as you're reading it, I'm reading it like they're in their early to mid 20s,
Yeah.
but they're all 18 years of age and under. So it's a really young group of kids, pretty much. And in this, they have to complete the biggest, like, we'll say heist ever done. Almost impossible. And so this is and there's conflict between like two of them because they've known each other before. So there's just like a really great story with them. The chapters are incredibly long sometimes.
Yeah. I have no problem with that, but
I don't like stopping in the middle of a chapter.
I know you don't.
I like to complete a chapter before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop mid-sentence, mid-chapter.
I stop mid-word.
Yeah. He really,
and I'm done.
I will go upstairs sometimes, and so I had recommended, because he falls asleep with his Kindle, to put a pop socket on the back of his Kindle.
Best idea ever.
And I will go in and just like in bed. And then, or he'll be reading for like 5 minutes. He's like, I can't keep my eyes open. And it goes straight to sleep. And I'm like, I have to finish a chapter. This book, I let it go a little bit more. Because sometimes there's a break. You know how they show, it's almost like a chapter within a chapter. They show the little 3 symbols and it's actually a break in the story and goes someplace else. So there I could do that fine. Because now I've completed the thought of the previous section. And I know I'll be moving on to a new thought.
Interesting how you need to complete that stuff with reading, but you don't feel like you need to complete like other things in life.
Like a project?
Yeah, like your sweater.
No, I do need to, but my focus has shifted to something else that needs to be completed.
Interesting.
So now the sweater, it needs to be.
Yeah. No, it doesn't need to be.
No.
Nothing needs to be.
Well, no.
Just be.
But it's the same thing with a book where if you're reading it and you need to finish the chapter, but you're not enjoying the book, so you no longer need to finish reading it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing. I'm knitting the sweater. I hit a snag, so now I was no longer enjoying knitting it. So now I need to wait until I can go back and enjoy it.
Gotcha.
So this book is there's 2 books in this series. I'm trying to finish them both before the TV show starts. But there's then another series that has 2 books in it. I believe it's going to complete the universe that these books takes place in. Mm-hmm. And I read just like the synopsis of that first book, and it has characters from both of the different series in the one. So it's going to bring the 2 series together.
Fun.
So yeah, I think this is a great series.
Good. That's awesome.
If somebody started a yarn club on that series, I'd be screwed with that too, because I'd be buying yarn. So don't do that. Don't let me know. But that, guys, I think that's it.
I think that's it everything. As well. Yeah, we have coming up. I think Tarquin's getting his haircut. We're gonna do some grocery shopping.
We're literally taking him. He has an appointment in 22 minutes.
Yep. Luckily, it's about 5 minutes down the road.
It is, and they do a really good job. We've taken him there once. They do a pretty decent job.
It's a really cute shop too.
Done in 2 hours.
Yeah. So we're gonna go grocery shopping while he's there. Visit my mom and dad, and we got some yard work planned for tomorrow.
Yes.
Which will be good. I think it's supposed to be like 55 degrees or something.
Maybe I'll dye yarn tonight.
Oh, that's a great.
I want to try to replicate the gray with the green speckles and the gray speckles. That I know what I did, so I just want to make sure I can replicate.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. And then I don't think there's anything else really coming up this week. Just the norms.
Oh, tomorrow's Easter, so if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter.
Happy Easter for those that celebrate.
Yeah.
We usually do.
We do normally get together with the family.
Yeah,
but, you know,
this year
pandemic.
It's just different. So
again,
I know, and a lot most of us are vaccinated, some of us are not. So Kevin and I are just gonna probably hang out. We'll hang out tomorrow. We'll do some yard work. Maybe we'll do pizza or something.
I know we've been doing Weight
day.
Watchers for the past 2. I think it'll be 3 weeks on Monday. So we've been trying to eat incredibly well and do our portion control and track all of our food properly. We've had
just to be more conscious.
We did have one cheat day.
Yeah, in the past 3 weeks.
Right, and that cheat day was not disgusting, but we went to go track it, and it was like, oh, you just consumed 150 points in this one day, and I'm like, oops.
Whatever. But, again, everything in moderation, and I think it's just, it's not because we think that we're, disgusting and blah, 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 blah. I think whatever makes you happy, but I think it's just to be a little bit more conscious of what we're eating, and...
It's almost like following a pattern. Right?
Yeah, kind of.
It's kind of like, if you really think about it, you're following a pattern.
Yeah.
You're just making sure you don't consume too much.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's like, okay, let me find what works for me. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, which is great.
It is. And
because that's one of the things that we don't, just as a snack, we're not fruit eaters for snacks.
Right. We would be
chips and ice cream for snacks.
And cookies. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And I think that somebody should find a way to allow us to eat those all the time.
Okay. But the good thing about Weight Watchers too is that you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
You really can. It's just, just be conscious of it and everything in moderation. They give you extra points for the week. You can not feel guilty if we have pizza tomorrow or whatever the case may be, or today.
You know what I really, really want, though? What? Oh, that's what we should do tomorrow.
I want a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant from Dunkin' Donuts.
I want a burger.
Me too. Oh, let's get burgers and fries today. Ooh, maybe.
Oh,
that sounds wonderful.
I really want a burger.
From where?
All right.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, because now we're just babbling. So,
Babbling brook.
Thank you, everybody. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate it. If you are
hopefully you heard the beginning of our podcast.
Yeah, if not, I'm sorry. No, if not, we literally will just have to record tomorrow. But
maybe I'll shave tomorrow. I forgot to do that today.
No, yeah, I guess. No, you'll probably shave Monday morning before work.
I know. Sometimes my neck gets sensitive, though, so I don't like to walk into work with, a red neck. You know?
You are a redneck.
Oh, gosh. All right, listen. Goodbye.
All right, guys.
It's been great to see you.
Thank you, everybody. Hit like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate it, and we will catch you all in a fortnight.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Bye.